Okay. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I'm excited to get into this with you. So let's
You?
just jump right in. So you've been on YouTube for 6 years now. What is some advice or guidance that you wish you'd gotten when you started?
Um, I would have done a few things differently. I would have set my sights to scale up and build a team um, sooner than what I thought would be necessary. I just really loved the whole process from filming and editing and posting, but I could have definitely, given up some of that control to find an editor or find, someone to help with production, something or anything like that. Burnout is very real, and I experienced it a couple times, and I feel like if I had, a good foundation, it wasn't just me. I could have been able to deal with that better. Definitely asked for help because asking for help is okay.
Funny how we learn to learn that so late in life. Um, so how did you know that you wanted to start a YouTube channel? Was there a particular instance, or is it kind of just was always the plan?
I wanted to start my YouTube channel because I just really love documenting and talking about everything that I was obsessed with at the time. I think I started like my first video when I was like 15 or 16. So I was just getting into makeup, getting into hair, getting into all of that. And I didn't consider myself like a girly girl, but I definitely feel like I was talking about all of that at such a young age and wearing makeup at such a young age. So it happened naturally. I just started because it was like a creative outlet for me, and I liked the whole process from beginning to end of setting up my camera, thinking of a video idea, talking about it, and editing and posting it, and then talking to my community about what they thought about the topic. So yeah, I just love the whole process.
You're a Calgary girl, and I love how you often work that into your content. What are some of your favorite spots in the city for someone who's never been or someone who's in town for a visit?
If I had a friend coming to Calgary and uh, I wanted to show her around town and give her some recs, I would definitely tell her to go to a couple places. Socality House for coffee and for the community there. If you walk in, everybody will say hi to you and start talking to you and try to find out, what you like to do. And they're super inclusive there. Mine and Eli's, my husband's favorite food is ramen, and we love it. So Shikimenya is definitely one of our faves. Village Ice Cream for ice cream, obviously, and Una Pizza for Italian. And they have such good pizza, such good like honey garlic spreads and sauces, and Lulu Bar for drinks with your friends, your girlfriends, the whole crew.
That was actually something that I did notice the one time that I was there. People are very inclusive and are very kind. I
Mhm.
think coming from Toronto and Montreal, it's definitely something that I noticed about Western Canada, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, and especially because here in Calgary, like the creative community is definitely smaller than a big town
Mhm.
or Vancouver. So I feel like everyone tends to stick together here. And Socality is like has always been around, and yeah, they always plan out events and things like that, and they include everybody. So it's fun to be a part of it.
So you've found success on multiple platforms. What would you say is the major difference that you've noticed between YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok?
The major difference I noticed with those three platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, I think the common denominator to start off is video because everything is about video now. So I think it's just about the video length. Instagram, I feel like it's still Instagram's bread and butter curation. So with the reels, it's all about curated content and there's more high production, quality into the videos and all of that. And then with TikTok, it's really a creative dump. You can post anything in there, and it's so fun, and there's definitely less pressure. And with YouTube, I think people mainly go there for long form video, vlogs. That's, I feel like, where you can actually really show your personality. But I think that's like the main thing I've noticed.
And do you find that you're with that, like you create different kind of content for each platform? Or are you kind of taking a lot of footage and then splicing it up differently based on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube?
I do create different content for each platform for sure. I think it's different platforms, just the reception is different in each platform. You know, on TikTok, good luck posting like a 3-minute video unless it's super engaging. I just think it's about being smart about it. You can even like kind of reuse or recycle content a different way. So if you're posting a vlog, you know, you take the best parts out of it, make it into a trailer, and throw it up on TikTok or Reels. And yeah, you can always do it that way.
Over the years, you've been able to grow on multiple platforms. How would you say that you like stayed on top of it all?
I tried to stay on top of posting in social media by just going with it, because it's an ever changing industry, and every day there's something new and different to learn. So sticking to old habits is definitely not helpful. You always want to be innovative, and you want to think ahead, and you want to go with the trends and be totally immersed in everything social media, because every single day there's something new to learn. And that's what keeps me on my feet and is so challenging, because it's just what makes it fun.
Is there like any piece of advice that you would give to somebody who's just starting out or who's feeling a little overwhelmed?
The first piece of advice I give to someone just starting out on social media is just to stay consistent. And I feel like for me to say that is definitely hypocritical, because I definitely struggle with that. It's not an easy thing to say and do.
Yeah.
So I say that with a grain of salt. Stay consistent, because especially you want to work as hard as you can and show your personality, and be as creative as you can. But I feel like always at the end of the day, the thing that must come first is mental health, and checking in with yourself first on what you want to do, what you want to talk about and show, because there's a very fine line between personal and private. And just being okay with that, and checking in with yourself, engaging your audience, and building a community. It can be as easy as asking questions at the end of your video or commenting back to comments. Um, I think something that helped me a lot in the beginning was time management as well, allocating one day of the week to focus on what platform you want to stay consistent on and produce content for, and organization, you know, a planner or even like a notebook to put brain dumps in. That's what I have. And whenever I think of an idea for a video or content, I always write it down. Um, and when you're ready, of course, joining an agency is something that is so helpful, and takes so much off my plate, so I can focus on the stuff that I fell in love with, which is content creation and being creative. So, yeah, don't give up, stay consistent, but definitely, definitely mental health first.
And what are some of the things that you do for your mental health? Like, what are some of those little things that you can kind of inject into your everyday to make sure that you're kind of staying on top of like that, living that balanced lifestyle?
Yeah, it's definitely so hard to have a job in social media. So one thing that I do, or not one thing, but kind of like a ritual that I do in my mornings to set myself up for success and stay positive on top of the social media world where it is very negative and it's very hard to maneuver around, is having a good ritual in the morning. So I like to wake up, I have a gratitude journal, I have my morning ritual, which is having lemon tea, hot water, lemon, apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of honey, and drinking that with my devotional. I have a devotional, I have my planner and my gratitude journal all beside me. And I just start off my every day like that so I can set myself up for success. Because if I have a day where I just wake up, turn around, and go on Instagram and social media, the first thing, I will definitely not have a good day.
Is one thing about this career that has really surprised you, maybe for better or for worse?
Right. Something that surprised me about this career is honestly just where it's headed. It's been, yeah, like less than a decade, I feel, or almost a decade since kind of like, YouTube and Instagram came around and social media and content creation, being an influencer was actually considered a job.
Mhm.
So in that small amount of space, so much has changed, even with technology too. There's cameras being built for the sole purpose of just vlogging. And so that's what surprises me every day, how it's so ever changing. Every day is something new and you have to be on top of it or else you're left behind, honestly. You have to be able to, change up your content, to suit that. Imagine if no one really wanted to like download TikTok or try something new. And now it's like the number one social media platform in the world.
I mean, I grew up with YouTube watching 25-minute vlogs, and now to think that people don't even have the attention span to watch a 1-minute TikTok video is indicative of how much change there is in the industry. So, yeah,
And it's
your open mind is your best tool.
all about fast-paced content and what's next, which is crazy.
So you and your partner founded a passion project turned business together during the pandemic. It's called the Big Buns Club, and it's a cinnamon bun pop-up and made to order company. Can you talk a little bit about what it's all about and what led you to turn this side hustle into like a full-on business?
Mhm. It started with the Eli experimenting baking in our kitchen during, quarantine.
Yeah.
And of all the desserts in the world, he chose cinnamon buns, and, he calls it buns and not cinnamon rolls because they are so much bigger than normal cinnamon rolls and have so much more consistency. It's almost like a bread. So he just really liked the process and, how much you could do with cinnamon buns and the flavors and all those possibilities. And I think what really made him go, wow, I can turn this into a business was the branding and the marketing side because he's always been into business. He went to college for business and he's always had this like cheeky personality and he thought of the name Big Buns Club. And he slapped on the name and he wanted a mascot and we thought, okay, how what else can we like come up with? So we chose like the brand colors and made everything pink and it was just very fun. Like we just use our imagination and the sky's the limit. We're like, okay, let's just go ahead with this. And we started baking during the holidays, during Thanksgiving and Christmas. We made flavors like pumpkin spice. We gave it to family and friends and brought it over to their houses. And they loved it. And through word of mouth, family and friends were like, wait, I want a box. I want to try your cinnamon buns. And before we knew it, we were already getting orders like to buy a box. So we were like, okay, we have to go and look at manufacturers and um, find boxes and stickers and all of that. And so it was something else that grew very naturally for us. And we had so much fun doing it along the way and discovering all of this by ourselves as we went, because we definitely never knew what it would become. And if like the position that we'd be in today, we never really planned on, being bakers or owning a bakery. But it's just something that we discovered along the way, that it was a passion project for us, and something that really like helped out was just having fun with the branding and the marketing side of things. And that we give a bunch to someone, the look in their faces, they get so happy and they're just so excited. It's just, yeah, it's fun, and we're super happy with it, and we are so excited for what's to come.
So indicative that like when you just like something and it's fun and you're not necessarily building something to make money or, build a business, you're just kind of doing it as a passion and you're open-minded. It's just indicative of like how far you can go. So congrats on that on top of everything else that's going on in your life. That what kind of drives you or like how do you motivate yourself,
For the sake of like my 15-year-old self,
right?
um, like my biggest dream was starting YouTube. And when I found out that, you could make a career out of this and a whole life out of this, of something that I loved to do at the time, and I was doing it because I loved, I turned into a child again. It's so fun for me to be creative and film and edit and the whole process. So I'm still in a lot of ways my 15-year-old self, and I just want to make her happy, and I want to make, 15 years from now, you know my adult version um happy and proud of how far I've come.
Last question. You're on a deserted island. You can only bring 3 things. What are they?
My family, like Eli and Koa, would have to be together as one thing, and then I bring like um my laptop with a bunch of like Marvel movies downloaded in them, like the whole saga. And then I bring like my 2-liter water bottle, and I'd be
Tell us where to find you. You can just
social media handles are at Maria Bethany on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Instagram. And I have presets, which are photo filters for Instagram, and you can find that on mariabethany.ca. I have a lot of fun stuff planned for that too. If you live in Calgary, Big Buns Club, at Big Buns Club on Instagram, and on websites, you can pre-order your buns for every weekend.
thank you so much for partaking in this interview. It was lovely chatting with you.
Thank you. It was so fun.